Hello everyone, welcome to iQuanta. How are you people? How is your preparation going on? चल रही है पढ़ाई पूरे जोरों शोरों से और अभी बेस्ट टाइम है मॉक्स देने का और मॉक्स एनालाइज करने का एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी आर कंटिन्यूसली ट्राइंग almost every week that you learn how to do a proper analysis of all three sections and you can implement them while writing the next mock. So I hope all the discussion that we are doing is fruitful to you guys and you are following them while writing the mocks. So this time we are reviewing iCAT mock 12 and you can see Akash Atri got 0 scores and 23.5 percentile overall. You can see all India rank here. You can see your scores in VARC LRDI Quant. Apart from that, you can also post your score. You can boast about it in our Facebook group. You can get the link from here. And then everything, as you can see, there are lots of tabs here. All of these tabs are useful tabs. You don't have to create anything on your own. You can analyze this properly, and if you are able to analyze this page properly, then you will be definitely able to improve after every single mock. So when you click here, you get all the solutions, video solutions, and you can also track your errors here. Then comes know your weak areas, moderate spots, strong spots in all three sections, LRDI, Quant. So you can see function, quadratic equation, logarithm. It will tell you on which portion of a particular section you need to work most on. Then there is this daily practice tool. I don't know if you have heard about it. On iQuanta website, we are providing you 15 free questions. Okay, 5 questions VRC, 5 LRDI, and 5 Quant questions. And in those section, you will get 20 minutes. And every day you can write this test and you can follow a streak, you can challenge your friends. It's all very fun. Then comes this detailed analysis regarding how many questions you have attempted, how many of them are correct, incorrect, total score, what's the accuracy and everything. What is the time taken by you, okay, and according to every single section, what's your percentile. You can also take all the analysis topic wise, okay. You can see this is VRC topic wise, LRDI topic wise, what are the questions, the topic names, questions that you have done, and what is the time taken by the topper, okay. So all of these are the analysis regarding your mocks. I hope if you are writing regular mocks, then you must be very much familiar with that, right? So, what's your take on iCAT 12? Let me know in the comment. Overall, what do you think about iCAT 12? What was the level of the sections, the questions, and if you can say us what was your score, then that would be better. Okay, we are going to start our analysis regarding LRDI section first. So as usual, there are 5 sets in 40 minutes and 3 sets, total 4 questions each, and 12 questions, 2 sets, 5 questions each, 10 questions. So 22 questions, same pattern as CAT 2024, and which is also expected in CAT 2025 because nothing is said otherwise till now. Now, out of these 5 sets, we are going to analyze which sets we should have attempted first, which set we should have left. Brandon works as a delivery agent for Revolt. Brandon works for exactly 6 days a week. That is from Monday to Saturday, and Sunday is off for him. On every Sunday evening, Revolt will assign him all the deliveries that he needs to deliver in the upcoming week. Now, Brandon delivers these orders based on the types of each other. The types are premium orders, which will be delivered on Monday and Tuesday. Priority orders are delivered on Wednesday and Thursday. Flexi orders are delivered on Fridays and Saturdays. Then comes on a particular Sunday, Revolt gave him 10 orders labeled as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I and J. 10 orders. Brandon will deliver these orders based on their type. So type means premium, priority, flexi. If it's a premium order, it will be delivered on Monday or Tuesday, and so on. Samyak is saying, I am not able to score in Quant. 30 क्रॉस ही नहीं हो पा रहा मॉक्स में. I didn't give this one yet, but इसके पहले मॉक्स में दिक्कत आ रही है. Samyak, that means you are still not analyzing the mocks properly. Okay, what you need to do, that whatever we are discussing here, you need to follow them. Okay, you need to do the scanning properly, you need to choose your questions properly. All right, so just tuned in and we will discuss a quant section very soon. Then some information is given. Orders labeled B and F were delivered in 2 consecutive days in that order. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like that. E was delivered on Monday. The order labeled I was delivered on Saturday. So 2 positive information, 1 general information. The 6 orders from B through G were delivered on 6 different days. Orders labeled A, C, E, G, I were not priority orders, and the orders labeled B, D, F, H and J were not flexi orders. So these are really helpful information. Neither B nor H is a premium order. The number of orders that were delivered each day by Brendan from Monday to Saturday is 1, 2, 3, 1, 1 and 2 respectively. Now, if we read all the question, we will get a better idea about this set, the difficulty level of this set. For how many of the 10 orders can we uniquely determine their delivery days? Which of the following among orders was delivered on Thursday? So, certain answer. Order labeled G was delivered on which day? Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, either B or C. If it is known that C wasn't delivered on Friday, then which among the following orders was delivered on Saturday? So what do we know about this set? As we have read, we have types of orders and we have days and we have the orders name, right? So this is not a big table, correct? We have 6 days, we have types of orders and we have name of the orders, and there is not much calculation. There are no numbers here. The only numbers are number of orders delivered from Monday to Friday. So definitely this set looks like something that you can attempt. You can attempt as your first set. And overall, as per the questions, we can also see that there are not if and but, any if and but, or cannot be determined, none of these type of options. So surely this set, by reading this set and all the questions, you should get an idea that yes, I can solve this set if I can give like not more than 6 to 8 minutes. Then I can definitely solve this set, and I won't say that this is easy, but this is also not moderate. So I will put it somewhere in between. So this is easy to moderate level set, which you can definitely attempt. I'm sure many of you have attempted this set, right? Paras there is saying easiest set. Yes, if you are done with the set, if you got all your answers correctly, then yes, not many sets are easier than this one in this mock, of course. Then comes this one. Farhan, a school student, receives a certain amount of money every morning from his mom as pocket money. He spends some amount during the day, and by the end of each day, he is left with a certain amount. On the 9th of September, Farhan analyzed his transactions for the past 8 days, that is from 1st September to 8th September, and he noted the following points. What are the following points? Before his mom gave him money on 1st September, Farhan had exactly 200. Good. Then comes the next one. From 1st to 8th September, the amount given by his mom and amount spent by him, pair for each day are. So these pair are random, not from 1st September to 8th September, right? These are amount given by his mom and amount spent by him. These are the value, right? And then amount, so there will be some amount left at the end of the day, correct? Now for the above pairs, the ratio of the amount left with Farhan at the end of each day is 5:1:3 5:4:3 4:2. Means if you are able to find one amount, you are able to find rest of the amounts, right? In that order for each pair. For example, take two pairs, 500 and 200, 100 and 500. This states that his mom gave him 500 and 100 in 2 mornings. 500, this one 100 in 2 mornings, and the amount he spent on those corresponding days are 200 and 500. And he spent, okay, the ratio of the amount left with him in the end of these 2 days is 5:1. Okay, so they are in the same order. This is really important information, that in that order. If you miss this, it will be really difficult to solve this set, right? Did anyone miss this part, that these were in the same order as this one? If you figured that out, you will have to do 2 or 3 more things, and then you can start working on this set. But still hello Savannah ma'am, how are you? So the beginning of this set is what is the total amount that was given to Farhan by his mom, right? So 500, 100, 200, 300, 100, 200, 400 and 100. This amount is total 1900. And then the amount spent by him.
Hi Sajan sir and all my students, good to see you.
So 200, 500, 400, 200, 100, 200, 200 and 200. Total amount spent by him is 2000. And if you subtract this, you are getting 100. Meaning he had 200 previously before 1st September. So total at the end of the day, which day? 8th September. At the end of 8th September, he is left with 100 rupees. And all the amount, as you can see, all the amount that he received, all the amount that he spent, all are multiples of 100. So at the end of the day, the amount left with him will be multiple of 100. And we know that on the 8th September, he is left with 100 rupees. So basically, this we are getting. One of these is 100. And all the values are multiple of 100. That means this one is 100. And this is 500. This is where you can start the question. But even then, this case, this set had some cases, right? Did any one of you solve this set during mock? If you have solved this, then that's good, because there are 2 or 3 cases that you will have to consider. Like if you try to consider which of these pairs will be for 8th September. So where the difference, where he is left with 100, right? Where he is left with 100. So on 8th, he had the total money spent by him, right? Total money spent by him and total money previously. The difference should be equal to 100. So in that case, you will have to make a table here and then figure it out. So of course, this was you can say moderate level set, and but it will take some time before you solve this. So I will say to solve this set, 12 to 14 minutes are ideal. Okay. Yes, Akash, after mock there is no time pressure. So yes, this set was something like, as I said, this was not difficult. This was moderate. If you are working on this set, you will be able to solve it. It's just a matter of time. Okay, that's why this set, again, this set was not a set which you can start with if you have a set like the first one in the beginning, right, that you have seen. Then comes the third set, and it was completely based on distribution, where you needed to create a table. There are no values, there are no many conditions. You just had to put all the information in the table. it was very much like Sudoku, right? The Sudoku distribution, and this set was definitely doable in 6 to 8 minutes. And this set, I can say, if you are a regular student, if you are practicing sets on regular basis, if you are solving mocks on regular basis, then this set, as you see it, you must have recognized that this is the kind of set that I look for during mocks and I will look for in exam, right? And so this is definitely a good to go set in the beginning. All right, then comes this one, the length of this set. You can see this, there are lots of information, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, G. So eight statements, right? 8 statements, and we have 12 candidates. 8 statements, 12 candidates, and then we have 3 days and total 12 slots, 4 slots every day. 12%, 3 days, 4 slots each day. And that's not the end of it. That's not the end of it. There are lots of information that you need to process. Okay. So once again, this set is not a set that you will start with, or even you attempt. This set is a question during mock. Okay. So you should avoid this. Yes, this set is a good practice after mock, okay, but not during the mock. And if you had tried to solve it, I'm sure it would have taken 16 to 18 minutes at least, and I will put this set in difficult category. So anyone here जिसने इस सेट को अटेम्प्ट किया हो मॉक में, कोई है यहाँ पे? बताओ. Because the table that you create here will be complicated, no? And by using all the information, it will take 8 to 10 minutes alone, है ना? It took 20 minutes, right, Akash? Yes, as I said. So this set was not like the second set. Second set was something which I said is moderate level set. If you start solving that set, then after considering 2 or 3 cases, you can solve that set. It's just a matter of time that someone can solve it in 10 minutes, someone can solve it in 12 minutes, 13, 14, 15, 16 minutes. But this set is not like that. This set is complex. This set is those sets that questions your ability to solve LRDI sets, right? कभी कभी ऐसा होता है ना कि सॉल्व करते वक्त एक ऐसा सेट मिलता है आपको कि आपको लगता है कि यार मेरी प्रिपरेशन अच्छी जा रही है कि नहीं जा रही है, मतलब ये सेट हो क्यों नहीं रहा. सो डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. इफ़ यू आर गेटिंग दीज टाइप ऑफ सेट्स इन बिटवीन, it will always happen. It does not matter if you have practiced 100 sets, 500, 1000, 2000 or 3000 sets, you will always find sets like this which will try to take your morale down. But remember, it's just a set. Okay, it's just a set. There are more sets that you can attempt. So why not leave it and move to the next one? Like I did, right? Now, a set on bar graphs. So, very interesting fact regarding CAT LRDI section, that in last 7 to 8 years, if I have to choose one segment of LRDI on which maximum number of sets have been asked, that will be bar graphs. And all of these sets were either easy or easy to moderate. You cannot even say that these sets were moderate, है ना? So this set is just like that. कितने लोगों ने CAT PYQs यहाँ पे किया है 2017 to 2024? And what do you think? How many sets of bar graphs did you find there? बताओ. So this set is just like that. As you can see, there are 1500 students enrolled in an acting and drama school, out of which some are male, rest are female. Also, each student is being trained to become either an actor or a director, depending on their acting skill. Male, female, right? Actor, director. Students are divided into 3 level stage: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. 60% of the students are in stage 1. Rest are divided equally in the other 2 levels. That is, following information is known. So this information is known, and these type of sets have been asked multiple times. Others and Priyanka. Good. So now, making a proper table for these type of sets is really important. What do we have? Although if it would have been very easy if we had 3 stage and male and female, right? But that is not the case. We have male, female, then we have actor, then we have director, then we have 3 different levels. So your table should be like this: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Now, either you can take a column of male and female like this, and you break one column into 2 different columns, and you can put actor and director, actor and director. Or you can also take actor here, director here, male, female, like this. But remember, whenever you get situation like this, this is the ideal table. You don't need to create 2 different tables. And information is given: stage 3, stage 2, stage 1 total. The distribution is given in case of males and in case of actors. Once you start filling this table, nothing will be stopping you. You will be able to figure out all the values. But yes, if you are, you can say, not really good with data interpretation, then there are sets that you can attempt first, like the first one and that distribution one. So this set is also an easy set, and this can be done. I'm considering the calculation involved here, and it will take 8 to 10 minutes. So first set, third set, and the fifth set, all these 3 sets can be done easily in the 40 minutes after you have taken right approach of selecting these sets. Okay, and how many questions are there here? 4 questions in this one, and then 5. How many questions in this one? 1, 2, 3, 4 questions in this one, and then 5 questions. There was, I missed something, I guess. 4, 4, 4. Both of the difficult questions had 5 questions, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I missing? Okay, yes, both the difficult questions had 5 questions, right? So rest 12 questions can be done easily. Priyanka is saying, sir, LRDI question की starting कैसे करनी चाहिए? Right approach. I get confused a lot how to start the question. I get stuck a lot. Priyanka, watch the video solutions of LRDI sets, right? You will get the right approach from there. Try to follow, try to use the same method while solving the LRDI sets. I'm sure till now, if you were practicing, you must have watched more than 100 video solutions, and lots of sets are discussed in live class as well, right? So you can learn the approach from there. Make a proper table if required, or Venn diagram, whatever is required, and try to write down all the given information in your own way, so that you don't have to go to all the information, read them again and again, and then work on the information, put them in the table, then solve it. Okay. Akash is saying, I solved this set in A5 sheet and table की खिचड़ी बन गई थी, दोबारा टेबल बनानी पड़ी थी. I guess you are talking about this one, right? ये वाला या पाइप इसमें लास्ट वाला तो फिर भी ठीक है ना? लास्ट वाला भी ठीक है. Okay, so overall I will say there are some students who might have solved like these three sets plus some questions in the rest of the two sets, because what I think in 25 to 25 minutes you should be able to solve those three sets, set number 1, set number 3, set number 5, and still you are left with some time to work on rest of the two sets, and you can choose those easier questions that can be solved directly from the set. Okay, or maybe after a little bit of work है ना, कुछ इनिशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाती है, वहाँ से कुछ इक्का दुक्का क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो जाते हैं. So 13 to 14 questions were doable from this mock in last 40 minutes. A5 is really good idea, Akash. I have always mentioned this in the class that you should always do your rough in A5 sheets, because that is what you will be provided during CAT exam. All right. So that was regarding LRDI, guys. And now Savannah ma'am is here waiting for us. Okay, and ma'am, are you there?
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Loud and-
yes, I can hear you. I guess there is a delay because of YouTube. So please
Sir,
continue.
am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, just a moment. I'm trying to share my screen. Just hang in there.
Okay. I guess there is a delay because of YouTube. So please
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. Hello, my dear students. I am here and I think the screen is good.
Akash, LOD of iCAT 12, you can see in case of LRDI, it was moderate. Quant, it was a little bit on higher side, moderate to difficult. In case of VRC, Savannah ma'am is here and she will tell you.
Hello. Hello. Sir, is my screen visible? नहीं नहीं, ये जो मतलब मैं शेयर कर रही हूँ जूम पे, वो दिख रहा है या नहीं? Perfect. So I can start now. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sorry, guys. That was, I was just trying to ensure that everything is fine so that it goes smooth. All right. Okay, all my dear students, everybody, welcome to this analysis thing of iCAT 12. And I'm going to just show you what was good, what was bad, what was ugly, what was nice, beautiful, what was worth solving, what was worth dumping. Okay? So I'm just trying to give you the slide also over here so that it becomes very clear for you. Now, The first passage was, of course, as the drill goes, we had 4 passages, RC 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we had 8 questions of VA. Okay, now, Authority of Economics, this was the first passage that we had, right? I don't know whether you guys like this or not, but this passage was very, very neat. I'll tell you why. Because in this, if you check the flow of the passage, it was like, just 4 paragraphs. And if I show you here, the Authority of Economics, something, and then the main idea is here. Then here, while physics underwent a rupture, so here they are trying to show you the difference between physics and economic events and economics and classical frame. So this para had the difference point. Then to draw a parallel between quantum phenomena, something, and not to indulge, something he has given here, to indulge in a metaphor. And then the last para gives you the conclusion, reimagining economics. So in this passage, I could very easily see that the last para is giving suggestions, recommendations. One question will definitely be there from the last para. Okay. So this is the clarity that I got after just glancing at the passage. And then after that, I checked the questions. Then I went back to the passage. Now I'll tell you the quick things, the points. Question 1 was main idea related. Okay. It doesn't say clearly that, okay, what was the main idea? But all of the following thinkers or perspectives would be unlikely to disagree. What were you supposed to do in this? Unlikely to disagree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. There will be one who disagrees. So you were supposed to decode the question. So all would agree except one. One would disagree, right? Now, what was happening in the passage? The author was criticizing neoclassical economics for being too reliant on rational and abstract, and बिल्कुल ही no digression, everything would be perfect. So the author did not like it. He criticizes neoclassical for this, right? Now, if we go down over here to the options between C and D, if you see A and B, these are like going with the author's point. They are criticizing, yes, okay, there should be failures, studying failures. This is what the author said. It can't be too perfect, right? So A and B, the Wesi, like, they were agreeing with the author's point. It was between C and D. And then between C and D, if you look closely, or if you go to the paragraph and check the points and all, option C contradicts it more clearly, like more directly, because of this, based on rational agents and equilibrium. So I felt question 1 was doable. Okay, like you could just keep your calm head and solve that. Then moving over to question number 2, this was like, what was this? Most reasonably inferred, yes. So this was something which was like, very directly connected with the passage. Economic systems, quantum systems, exhibit entangled, unpredictable. This was the main idea thing. Again, everything is entangled, unpredictable. There is a mess, there is chaos. So reasonably inferred comparison between this and this, you can go to that particular zone, particular point, right? So this question is always an easy one, because this is, if such a question asks you the difference between two things, you need to go to that zone, read 2 lines up, 2 lines down, then infer. So this was very, very doable. Okay, this is what I say. This one, yes, you could have taken that. Next one, which of the following, if true, would most strengthen the author's critique? Now, this was again main idea connected, because this is saying author's critique of mainstream economic models. Even if you go to the passage and you check, there is a certain zone where he, kind of specifically says mainstream economic models, something, and he criticizes neoclassical for what? For being very straight, very like perfectionist kinds and all. Option A clearly supports it. The author doesn't like that everything should be perfect. The author doesn't like this fact that there is no chaos. He says that things are imperfect, chaos should be there. So this one, if you see, directly strengthens it, supports it by saying, shows divergence from this. So basically, he was criticizing neoclassical models in the passage. We had to support him by looking for an option that again criticized neoclassical. So in such a question where the claim is given here, okay, you just need to think calmly. How will I weaken it? How will I support it? Yesterday, I had done one, what was that? Yeah, one live solving of a test. It was done on YouTube. Last night, I did it at, I think, 9 p.m. So you can go back and you can see that in that I have kind of shown you exactly what questions I would take up, what questions I would leave. Okay, so that's kind of going to be insightful for you. So this was done. Okay, and then this last question, I'll tell you again, this was doable. इसमें मैं लिख दे रही हूँ यहाँ पे doable. See, when you're selecting your passage, it has to be based on the type of questions also, okay? Not just the passage, not just the genre. Now, this is question 4 of this. All of the following are unlikely to happen. Now, this was so damn good. I'll tell you, current landscape of economic, this thing. Current landscape, bole to, after giving the entire passage, all the problems, the author is going to talk about the modern scenario or how these things apply to the modern scenario. So there was clarity in my mind that it's going to be connected with the last para. You go to the last para and you see, this is like economic models continue to assume self-predicting. इसमें this was eliminated, and then begin to see themselves. This is given there very clearly, rather than observers of market behavior. So this was again doable. It was connected to the last para. I told you in the beginning that last para, if there are suggestions and all, one question will definitely be connected to that. So they begin to see themselves as participants. They cannot stand there as observers and think कि हाँ हम देख ले रहे हैं बहुत है इतना ऐसा types. ठीक है? So this one is done. So from this passage, I recommend doing all 4. Why? Because the passage was easy to understand. The questions were pretty good. You have done so many questions in your sectionals and mocks, like ऐसा वाला आपका critical reasoning, strength and weak and ऐसा type का. So you could do this. ठीक है? Now this passage was very interesting. Work and its value as perceived by the world, not merely as this. Some of you may have found it a little, what can I say, dense, but then, this is something we can relate with. And the flow was again good. The fracture is not economic, it's existential. So this para talks about the existential problem, the existential threat that is there. Existential threat hai bole to he will talk about automation and algorithmic. So this was work connected with automation and how AI may or may not replace us. Then if you go to the last para of this clearly says this does not require utopian dreaming. And, he says here demands confrontation, labor continues to be revered. So not very simple language, I would say, but you can still see that here he's talking about utopian and some like keywords we could have taken from here. Now, if we go to the questions, central argument, very doable. Okay, because central argument, I have taught you like the basic techniques and all. So isme, if you just kind of even start eliminating, this was like, between A and C. And then you could have found it slightly tricky ki A and C mein kaise hoga weekend types wala. But between A and C, this was like very clear because थोड़ा सा देखने से समझ में आ जाएगा the ideological this thing. This is connected straight with the last para. So you could have found it slightly tricky between A and C, but then the way I have taught you, A and C अगर बच गए हैं, take one, go back and prove it. So when I started trying to prove this, ये वाला structural basis and all outlived, rephrasing किया हुआ है last para के 2 lines में से. ठीक है? So inference is what? Inference is simply rephrasing of a particular line. This is how CAT takes it. So central argument between A and C, this was good. Then, okay, this question had been changed in the main test. It was an inference question. ये इसमें इस डॉक्यूमेंट में मैं चेंज करना भूल गई आई थिंक. सो इसको ये इन्फरेंस क्वेश्चन था. दैट वाज अ नाइस क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं इसमें. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, which of the following is strongly supported by the arguments? This is not critical reasoning support and weaken. ये बोल रहा है which of the following is supported by. So here you are looking for conclusion. Supported by बोले तो the ceiling is there and then you have got the pillars. So the pillars are the facts given in the passage and conclusion आपका आप ढूंढ रहे हो. ठीक है. So which of the following is supported by? Now in question number 3, it is given in the passage. You're looking for a conclusion. So all these get eliminated except A, क्योंकि इसमें बोला है the continued association depends on cultural inertia rather than this. This is given in the first para as well as the last one. That economic reality से हट रहे हैं. Now we are moving to how people connect with one another. So cultural inertia is inferred from there. Okay, so this was a good one. Then this one, which of the following most accurately reflects a supporting idea from the passage? Supporting idea from the passage, how easily was it to locate this? Inferential है. तो इसमें पता है मैंने क्या किया था? I'll tell you. Historical fusion, transfer payments, leisure, reflects a supporting idea. बोले तो you're looking for one true. Simply I picked this क्योंकि ये एक पैरा clearly दिया है transfer payments का. I'll show you this. यहाँ देखो. long maligned, sorry, and then transfer payments यहाँ पर है. So I just came back to this particular para, transfer payments का check करने के लिए, and this was actually there. So inferential है, this was pretty good, no longer viewed solely. पूरा para का जो crux था ना, that is rephrased as this. So from this passage, at least 3 questions you could have done. All right. And then we move over to Ashoka Maurya. Ashoka Maurya and his philosophy. I felt very happy to see this passage क्योंकि भाई कुछ तो वो पंक्चुएट हुआ ना, like dense philosophy type से हट करके किसी एक person से related. So this was nice. And Ashoka Maurya है तो obviously उसका conquest नहीं देगा, something of his philosophy देगा इसमें, right? And he was known for his ethics. So ethics से related है. So this passage was like good, easy to understand again. And inseparable ethical governance, he did not see vision. ये देख रहे हो आप, लास्ट पैरा में his vision, clear vision दिया हुआ है. एक क्वेश्चन तो आया ही है इससे विजन से, फाइन. सो अब मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ इसमें क्वेश्चंस क्या है. सेंट्रल आइडिया, अगेन सेंट्रल आइडिया के क्वेश्चंस आप कहीं भी देखो, प्लीज पाउंस ऑन देम, उठा लिया करो. सेंट्रल आइडिया के क्वेश्चंस अच्छे हैं. इसमें ऑल वर गेटिंग एलिमिनेटेड एक्सेप्ट बी. Personal effort, institutional support, all balanced, nice looking words. Main idea में generally जो balance दिखता है, that is your answer. ठीक है. Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? Question number 2. Again, this was doable. Why? Because this is connected to the info given in the passage. Ethical behavior must be rooted in inner transformation, not just compliance. Even if you pick inner transformation and you go and check, आप देखो ये इंट्रोस्पेक्शन, मेडिटेशन, इंस्टीट्यूशंस, ये रिक्वायर्ड लॉ बट आल्सो मेडिटेशन, दिस. सो आई मीन लाइक इफ यू जस्ट स्टे काम एंड सी कि अच्छा मैं इसको एटलीस्ट 2 ऑप्शंस एलिमिनेट कर लेते हैं. एनफोर्स एथिक्स, दिस. अशोका मौर्य कुड नेवर डू दैट, कॉमन सेंस भी आपको बता देगा. मॉरल प्रोग्रेस कुड ओनली बी अचीव्ड, ये वैसे ही एलिमिनेटेड है बिकॉज ऑफ रेड फ्लैग. Reducing animal slaughter would lead directly to this. So if you're left with A and D, last paragraph clearly says Ashoka Maurya reduced the slaughter, but he did not stop it completely. So had he believed that stopping the slaughter could lead to a more just and efficient state, why wouldn't he have stopped it for himself? He did not stop it for himself. So obviously this cannot be inferred. He believed in moderation. He believed in doing things gradually, not just going to extremes and being a fundamentalist. ठीक है. So this is eliminated. This was very easily निकालोfied. ठीक है, ये हो गया. Now most support the author's portrayal of Ashoka's ethics. Grounded and non-perfectionist, clearly given in the last para. I have taught you this. First para, last para पढ़ते हैं. याद है मुझे इसमें last para में he said something about everything was like moderation. ये देखो यहाँ दे रखा है. Unreachable purity नहीं बोलता था, modest था. He killed fewer animals, not none. Extreme नहीं करने की जरूरत है. Struggle कर रहा था to reach goodness. He did not claim that he was picture perfect. So you could go to this paragraph and take this from there. तो इसमें all moral authority to religious तो कहीं नहीं बोला था उसने. This creating hospitals, wells as expressions of shared care and responsibility. This is very balanced, and this is given there actually in the second or third para somewhere. So this connects with his ethical governance envisioned, kind of. ये वाला नहीं था, sorry. I was talking about, this one, sorry. Grounded and non-perfectionist. हाँ. So grounded and non-perfectionist में obviously उसमें ये था कि something moderate. तो यहाँ बोला है, he confessed in one edict, if true है ना. He still consumed meat but urged gradual reduction. This connects with that. ठीक है. और ये वाला तो ethical governance, his vision, last paragraph talks about his vision. So last paragraph से इस passage में ना there were 2 or 3 questions connected. So creating this, इसका I think this was this was the answer and this was pretty doable. So again इस passage में से भी at least 3 तो आप कर सकते थे. तो अभी तक हमने देखा कि out of all the 3 passages, all 3 were good. एंड तीन भी अगर आप पिक करते तो कॉन्फिडेंस आपका बढ़ सकता था. ठीक है. और क्या था लास्ट वाला? ये तो सबसे अच्छा पैसेज था. वेल्दी पेरेंट्स एंड चिल्ड्रन, बहुत मजेदार पैसेज था. हाउ पेरेंट्स एक्चुअली कंट्रोल देयर चिल्ड्रन, हाउ दे प्रिटेंड, हाउ दे टेल देयर चिल्ड्रन दैट ओके, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, we are supposed to be grounded and humble. Yet it's all about performance. It's all about showing to the society. So ये था ये ड्रामा जो पेरेंट्स का होता है, रिच पेरेंट्स का. एंड इस पे all the 4 questions were so good, so easy to do. ये सारे थे. ये all होगा, all of the following. इफ ट्रू वुड अंडरमाइन, इसमें अगर आपको लगता भी है ना कि लाइक थोड़ा टाइम लग रहा है या कुछ, तो यू कुड हैव लेफ्ट दिस एंड यू कुड हैव गॉन ओवर टू द अदर क्वेश्चंस. सो 3 क्वेश्चंस अगेन फ्रॉम हियर. सो फ्रॉम दिस सेट स्पेसिफिकली आई कैट 12 की मैं बात अगर करूं तो all the passages were good, doable. They had a great mix of questions. So you could have picked three, 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 three. 12 questions in how many minutes? 30 minutes. कर सकते थे आप, आराम से कर सकते थे, कीपिंग अ काम हेड ऑन योर शोल्डर्स. 30 मिनट्स में ये हो गया, 10 मिनट बचे हैं, आराम से आप 4 क्वेश्चंस पिक करो ना उसमें से. सो 12 और 4 15 16 कुछ भी आप कर लो, इतना तो काफी है ना. ये इसके तो क्वेश्चंस खैर अच्छे थे. आई हैव सेड दैट अर्लियर. ओके, पैराजंबल्स का बता देती हूँ आपको. बोथ द पीजेस आई फाउंड स्लाइटली ट्रिकी. एक नंबर आगे पीछे की वजह से ना कुछ हो जाता. कल वाला आप मेरा उस क्वेश्चन सॉल्व भी देखोगे ना, जो मैंने टेस्ट सॉल्व किया है, जो बता रही थी मैं आपको, उसमें भी मेरा पीजे रॉन्ग हो गया था, क्योंकि पीजे में उसमें एक 2 कोमा प्लेस नहीं कर पाई थी. सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट हैपेंस वेरी ऑफन विद अस. ठीक है. सो ये दोनों जो पीजे के क्वेश्चंस थे, दोनों में मुझे लगा कि एक सेंटेंस के लिए बच्चा कंफ्यूज होगा ही होगा. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ वेस्टिंग टाइम, इफ इट इज टीटा, लिख दो कुछ भी और मूव आउट. शॉर्ट समरीज तो दोनों के दोनों बहुत ही ज्यादा क्लियर एलिमिनेशन था इनमें, दोनों क्वेश्चंस में. आई वुड सजेस्ट डूइंग दिस एंड दिस. बाकी आपके जो ऑड वन आउट थे, ऑड वन आउट में भाई इस बार ये एकदम स्टैंड आउट कर रहे थे आपके क्वेश्चंस. तो ऑड वन आउट जरूरी नहीं कि हमेशा ऐसा हो, ठीक है. सो डोंट टेक इट फॉर ग्रांटेड, बट इन दीज 2 क्वेश्चंस द ऑड वन आउट वाज क्लियरली स्टैंडिंग आउट. इसमें भी मुझे याद है कुछ मैथमेटिकल प्रूफ समथिंग एकदम ही दिख रहा था. ठीक है. सो ये कर सकते थे आप. पैरा कंप्लीशन आप छोड़ सकते थे. ओके, अगर आपने ऑड वन आउट अच्छे पिक कर लिए, समरीज पिक कर लिए, यू कुड हैव लेफ्ट पैरा जंबल्स में कुछ भी लिख करके एंड ये पैरा कंप्लीशन छोड़ सकते थे. नॉट बिकॉज पैरा कंप्लीशंस वर बैड, बट बिकॉज पैरा कंप्लीशन वुड टेक यू अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ टाइम. ठीक है. सो अगर मेरे से आप ओवरऑल पूछो इसमें कैसा इसका सॉल्व होना चाहिए था, सो ये कहाँ गए भाई. अच्छा, हाँ, इसको बंद कर दो, कोई बात नहीं. हाँ, so overall, if you ask me, you could have scored in the RCs in this set. Sometimes it can happen that the 1 or 2 RC would be like very bad. क्वेश्चन सेट भी खराब है, आरसी भी खराब है, तो जाए कहाँ टाइप्स. बट इसमें आरसी में स्कोर निकाल सकते थे, 12 क्वेश्चंस उधर और 4 क्वेश्चंस आराम से वीए में निकाल सकते थे. आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी यू डिड फ्रॉम विच सेक्शन. आप मुझे अगर बता रहे हो इसमें तो मैं आपका डाउट्स क्लियर करती हूँ. ऑल ऑफ यू. हम्म. ठीक है. So this is what my quick analysis was, and keep improving, guys. I'm handing it over now to Sajjan sir. He'll continue with the next subject ka analysis. I have got an NMAT class in another 5-10 minutes, so I'll be logging out. Keep learning, and आज शाम को हमारा 300 वाला जो countdown चल रहा है, 300 important questions for BARC. We have got that today at 11 p.m. As soon as I get the link, I'll be promoting it. So please join me for that. Okay, everybody. Take care. See ya.
Thank you, Savannah ma'am. That was a very nice session. I'm sure our students got a lot to learn from that session. And hello everyone. So let's continue our analysis with quantitative aptitude. So what do you guys think about this quant section? Overall difficulty level of this quant section. You can tell me here what was your score. Others, Akash, Priyanka, Jinashi, and Shreya. About quant section, let's start with the first question. So as I say always, that you should be able to solve few questions as 1 second. Okay, you should be able to solve few questions while scanning as well. So we are going to take care of that as well. Which kind of questions you can choose to solve on spot which kind of questions you should choose to solve in your first after first round, and then what kind of questions you can keep for later. Okay, then comes the first question. A series of numbers is defined as Tn means the nth term, T1 is equal to 1, T2 is equal to 1, and Tn is equal to Tn minus 1 plus Tn minus 2. Not a very difficult sequence of numbers, right? We can find what is T3, we can find what is T4, T5 till T10. And if we do this, we are able to find this, and we just need to add and find the answer. So these are the type of questions that you can solve on spot. So I'm going to mark this question that I will solve this on spot. Move to the next question. Akash is saying it was good but made silly mistakes because of time. After mock, I solved 18 questions without time limit. Akash, that is good. If you are able to solve 18 questions, that is really good, even after mock. Then comes the second question. If a and b are integers such that 3x square minus ax plus 3 greater than 0, x square minus bx plus 13 greater than equal to 0 for all real numbers x, then largest possible value of 3a minus 5b. Now once again, if this quadratic expression is greater than 0, that means it's always above the x-axis, right? Means no real roots, meaning in this case the discriminant will be less than 0. From there you get the range for a, and in this question it's touching the x-axis or above the x-axis, that means the discriminant is less than equal to 0. Then again you get the range of b. If you figure this out in your mind, you will be able to understand that I will have to take the maximum value of a, I will have to take the minimum value of a to find the largest possible. So this question also you can solve on spot and move to the next question. Third one, a and b are running between the points x and y. A starts from x, b starts from y at the same time. The distance between x and y is 100 meters. A and b start running towards each other with a speed of 2 meters per second, 3 meters per second respectively. Whenever they meet, they interchange their speeds. One condition, find the distance from the point x when they meet for the fourth time. So although it looks like a question that we can solve, and of course this is an easy question, but at this time we don't know without solving that finding the distance where they are at the fourth meeting, it might take some condition. Maybe we get a pattern, maybe we don't get a pattern, right? So if you have not solved question like this, then you can choose to solve it when you come back, right? Then I will put double tick so that when we come back, we will solve this question. Let ABCD be a square of side length 10 centimeters. A circle passes through point D and is tangent to side AB at point E. The circle cuts AD and AB at y and x respectively. If xy is equal to 12, find A. Looks like we need to draw some diagram of square and circle, right? And the diagram should be perfect so that we don't miss anything. So definitely this question will not be my first priority when we come back, and I will put triple tick so that questions like this will be my first priority, and then after this. So till now, out of 4 questions, we are able to do 2 questions, and I am telling you, if you are practicing enough, those 2 questions are definitely doable. Then comes this 5th question. What is the largest factor of 17 lakhs that does not contain the digit 0 or 5? Now this was a tricky question. Okay, which one, Akash? Which question? This one? First one? So what's the trick in it? See, what is 17 lakhs? This is equal to 2 to the power 5 into 5 to the power 5 into 17 to the power 1. So there will be some factors. How many factors? 6 into 6 into 2. There will be 72 factors. And we need to first exclude those factors which do not have digit 0 or 5. Now think about this. If we take any factor which involves 5, either the unit digit will be 0 or 5, right? So we can exclude all the factors which involves 5 as its factor. So we need to find only the factors of this. Now you have how many factors? So 6 into 2, 12 factors, right? And out of those 12 factors, we need to find the largest. So we need to start with the largest factor, like 17 into 32, then 17 into 16, then 17 into 8, and so on. So largest factor which does not involve 0 or 5, we will be able to find it quickly. So again, this was a tricky question. If you able to figure out that we need to discard this and we need to only consider 17 and 2 to the power 5, then we can solve it easily in the first spot. Okay, so this question is also doable. All right. Yes, Akash, what was your doubt in this one? Student is saying, sir, please don't ignore my doubt. Student, this session is about mock analysis, right? We had lots of session regarding this percentile, and your question is something completely like what can I say, unanswerable. Okay. Yes, Akash, what's your doubt here? And you have also deleted the message, student. Okay, Akash, I will come back when you have sent your doubt. Okay. Then comes the next question. A lays a road in 7 days, B in 8 days. When they work together, their efficiency comes down, and together they lay 1/2 less per day, right? Okay, so basically, again, this is similar question to the third one. I'm good in time and work. I can solve this. I'm confident about it. But there are some conditions given. I will solve it in my second round. Okay. How can we know E is perpendicular on hypotenuse? E is perpendicular on hypotenuse. Where is hypotenuse? ABCD is a square. ABCD, and this is what this diagram is, right? The diagram is something like this, and this is point E. Where is the hypotenuse? बताओ, इसमें hypotenuse तो नहीं दिख रहा मुझे कहीं. There is a center. Okay, tangent. If you are talking about this, the radius, right? See what happens in a circle. If you join the center and the point of contact, this radius is always perpendicular to the tangent. Okay, then we will come back to this in the second round. Then next question, it says the length of this question, although this question is from I guess simple interest and compound interest, and let's read it once. A man borrowed 1,000 rupees from a bank at 20% interest per annum. Interest is calculated on the amount of outstanding during the year, and the interest is so calculated is added to the outstanding principal. Repayment, if any, is done. So the language of this question is twisted, but overall this is a question of compounding, compound interest installments, right? And there are only 2 installments. So if you have done questions like this before, this is also one of the questions that you should attempt and move to the next question. This one I'm not going to read it right now because of the length of the question, and I can see lots of numbers. So this will be third round question for me. Then comes this one, a function f has the property that f log 5x base 10 is 3x square minus 2x plus 1 for all real number x. What is f2? Now this is a sitter. This is a very easy question. We need to make this 2. How can we make log 5x base 2 as log 5x base 10 as 2? This is only possible when 5x is 10 square. That is equal to 100. We got x is equal to 20. If you put x is equal to 20, we get f2 left side, right? And you put x is equal to 20. This is also one step question. So this we are going to attempt, then move to the next one. Drone P travels at 3 meter per second for the first 5 seconds, then increase its speed to 4 meter per second for the next 5 seconds, then 5 meter per second for the next 5 seconds, and so on, increasing its speed by 1 meter per second every 5 seconds. Drone Q, okay, so P and Q, there are some speed for Q, for P which is changing, there are some speed for Q. So again, this is not even the second round question. We will come back to this when we are doing our third round. Then comes 2 kinds of wine having concentrations 30% and 20% are mixed in 15 liters of water in the ratio 6:5 such that a mixture with 20% concentration of wine is obtained. So from there we can understand that we can find the ratio in which these two are being mixed. If the mixture is prepared and sold at cost price of wine having 20% concentration, lots of information. Although I am good at allegation, but it does not like a round 2 question. We will come back to this in round 3. A sequence of positive integers is defined. A0 is equal to 1, an is equal to an minus 1 square plus 1 for each n greater than 0. Find HCF of this and this. Now, as soon as I see these big numbers A779, A1579, I can understand that there must be some pattern to this question. There must be some pattern, there must be some series that we can figure out. That's why we can find the HCF between these two terms which are so much apart, right? But I am not ready to solve this question because we are solving only the sitters, the level 1 question in our first round. So this I will come back and then check. Next question, 5 chess grandmasters Magnus, Fabiano, Hiraku, Ian and Ding are seated in a single row for a post match press event. Magnus refuses to sit next to either Fabiano or Hiraku and Ian refuses to sit next to Ding. How many different sitting arrangements are possible that respect these conditions? So if there was one condition, I would have attempted this question, because in PNC there are always formula based questions, right? There are always once you understand the condition, you can one step solution. But there are 2 conditions. We will have to take care of both of them. So I'm not going to solve it, but I'm going to come back to this later. The sum of first x multiples of y is 42. The sum of first xq multiples of yq is 129654. Where x and y are positive integers, determine the sum of first x square multiples of y. So this is something. Sum of first x multiples of y is 42. I can write this equation in terms of x and y. Similarly, I can write another equation in terms of x and y. 2 equations, 2 unknowns, somehow it will be solvable, right? 2 equations, 2 unknown, we should be able to find the value of x and y both. And then we can find this one. But again, it will take some time solving this equation and then finding this value. So again, this question, there is a map in my mind that how to solve this question, but we will come back to this in the second round. Next question, it says a surveyor is mapping a piece of land shaped like right angle triangle with side lengths 9, 12 and 15 centimeter. To determine key landmarks, he marks the locations of the in-center, circumcenter and centroid of the triangular plot. Find the area of the small triangle formed by these 3 landmark points. At this time, I am not getting any idea how to solve this question. Okay, in time pressure, that centroid, distance between centroid in radius, distance between in radius, circumcenter, distance between circumcenter and centroid. Even if there is a way, even if I draw a diagram there, if I am able to find a way, I am not getting anything at this point. I will skip this and I will come back to this for the third round. Although this is an easy question, if you solve it, using coordinate geometry, right? But we don't get the idea this easily during mocks, right guys? So third round, a data analyst finds that the sum of 81 consecutive numbers is equal to 3 to the power 16. What is the median of these 81 values? Now this is a sitter. How come this is a sitter? Because see, whenever there are some terms in AP, their average is the middle term, or if number of terms are odd, then the median will be the middle term, right? So it will be the average. The middle term is the average when terms are in AP. So the average, we need to find the average. There are 81 consecutive numbers. 3 to the power 16 is the total sum divided by 81. This is our answer. In that time you can solve this. So definitely this is a first round question itself. Okay. This is actually 30-second question. The last one was actually 30-second question. If you are familiar with 1 and 1 concept, that if there are some terms in arithmetic progression, then their sum is n into middle term, or their average is the middle term, or their average is median, right? Then comes this one. For what values of x does the equation C have exactly 3 solutions? This is a CAT PYQ replica. This question was asked in CAT 2022. This one, I guess, CAT 2022. 22 or 21, I don't remember exactly at this time. And see, whenever we have a mod, whenever we are talking about algebra, if you have a little knowledge of graphs, it's very helpful. The graph of a quadratic expression looks like this, right? If you take mod to it, it will become something like this. And this is equal to something, and it has exactly 3 solutions, means the line C will intersecting at these 3 points, right? So basically the highest point of this, or here the lowest point of this, will be the value of C. Or where do we get this? When x is equal to minus b by 2a. So if you have a really good knowledge of graphs, you can solve this question within 30 seconds. That minus b by 2a will be equal to 6. That's your answer. Question would have been better, which was asked in CAT, what is the value of C? So for that, you can understand that if we have exactly 3 solutions, then there will be 2 values of C. For 1 value of C, it will become a perfect square, or the discriminant will be equal to 0. And in other case, the discriminant will be greater than 0, right? So for that, we will have to find the value of C. How do you make it a perfect square? X square minus 12x. 12x is 2 into 6 into x. So 6 square 36. So C must be 9. If C is 9, then we can find the value of x as well, right? So again, I discussed both the methods. One is graphical, other is a little bit time taking. If you solve it by graph, it will take not more than half minute, but if you solve otherwise, it might take 2 minutes approx, right? So this one is also, as I have always mentioned, you must solve CAT PYQs. That's why you should be aware of these type of questions. So first round question. 2 non-zero integers p and q satisfying pq is equal to p minus q. Which of the following is a possible value of pq minus p by q minus q by p? So these two are non-zero integers, right? So somehow we can find the value of p and q, right? If you work on this, although there is a method that you can directly apply. So if you remember that, this is again a first round question. This question I'm not going to see x square and lots of conditions. This will be my third round question. All right. Next one, it says if the sum of 3 of the sides of a rectangle is 32 units, what is the maximum possible area of the rectangle? So this is very easy, guys. 2a plus b is equal to 32. One of the side is a, other side is b. We need to find maximum area, which is ab. We can definitely apply am is greater than equal to gm, and we get the answer, right? As soon as you write what is given and what is required, it should click in your mind that AM is greater than equal to GM will be applied here, and this is also a first round question. If mod of x minus 3 plus mod of x plus 4 is less than equal to 12, find the total number of integer values of x that satisfy the given inequality. Again, with the help of graph, this is a very easy question. It should not take more than 1 minute to solve this question if you know how to draw the graph of this. Let me tell you, the graph of this will be like this. This is minus 4 and this is 3. The value of this expression will be minimum when you put x is equal to minus 3, minus 4 to 3. So this value will be 7. This is 7. So minus 4 to 3, we have 8 values already. And now if you increase, for every increase, if you take x is equal to 4 or if you take minus 5, the value will increase by 2, not 1. So after 7 till 12, we get 9, we get 11. 2 values here, 2 values here. So 8 plus 4, 12 values. So with the help of this, this is a first round question. Otherwise, if you believe in cases, then you will have to consider some cases and then it becomes a second round question. Next one, in an election, 2 candidates participated, 18% did not vote. The vote question, right? It's always easy question, but if there is some calculation, we will come back to this. So now we are done with all the 22 questions. Let's count how many questions we were able to do in our first round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 questions, and if you exclude questions like this one, we are left with 8. If you exclude this one because of the length, we are left with 7. And this was, I cannot exclude this one. So 7 and this one. Even we are left with 6 questions, right? Even then we are left with 6 questions in the first round, and that is not bad. You can do these kind of scanning while writing quant sectional test, or you can do the same thing in mock test. Now after that, how many questions I have marked as round 2? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 questions. On an average, even if we take 2 minutes per question, so in 14 minutes, we should be able to solve those 7 questions. So 7 plus 6, 13 questions you are done with this. And that is not bad, right? That is not bad. And if you have practiced lots of quant questions, you are familiar with the pattern, then surely you are going to crack more than that in mocks or in real exam. But remember what to do during mocks. I hope this part is clear to all of you guys, right? If you are not following these, then start following, okay? And try to do this in first 3-4 mocks. You will see the change. First round, second round, third round, like this. You can note it on your paper. एग्जाम से पहले ही लिख लो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 8 22 तक जो सॉल्व हो रहे हैं उनको टिक करते जाओ, मार्क करते जाओ किसको आप फर्स्ट राउंड में करोगे, कौन सा क्वेश्चन नंबर, थर्ड, दो टेक। प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं होगी बार बार देखने की, है ना? डायरेक्ट उस क्वेश्चन पे क्लिक करो, क्वेश्चन पहले होता है ना, उस पर क्लिक करो, उस क्वेश्चन पे जाओ, उन्हें ही सॉल्व करो। उसके बाद देखो ना कितना टाइम बच रहा है, 2 राउंड के बाद कितना टाइम बच रहा है, नहीं बच रहा है। अगर टाइम बच रहा है उसमें हो गए 1-2 क्वेश्चन 3 क्वेश्चन तो अच्छी बात है, बट एटलीस्ट यू वॉन्ट बी वेस्टिंग योर टाइम इनिशियली, क्योंकि इनिशियली हमारे पास जब 40 मिनट्स दिख रहा होता है ना, तो हम बड़े मज़े से 5-6 मिनट अपने स्पेंड कर देते हैं, बड़े इजीली 5-6 मिनट हम बर्बाद कर देते हैं इन क्वेश्चंस लाइक दिस, है ना? और लगता है कि चलो अब नहीं करेंगे ऐसे क्वेश्चन, है ना, अब इजी वाले ढूंढेंगे। ऐसा नहीं करना है। you should always scan all the 22 questions. Okay guys, chalo. So with that we are done with this mock analysis of iCAT 12. I hope you got to learn something that we have discussed today, and you will try to implement these things in upcoming mocks. So see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.